All right, welcome back to the stream. We are building out our dragon and ice farming in our second base right now. And for that, I realized I have not really planned on creating a team for hunting ice types. So you can see Breloom is not going to be that great at it. I don't think Steelix will be either. Good thing Mewtwo can be used for basically anything, and then of course Gibble, when it hatches, is going to be a disaster against ice types. I'm thinking of going back to my original base, which is good because I need to grab a bunch of stuff from that. Well, I need to farm items, and then maybe grabbing some Pokemon who could probably do better. The real problem here, I think I may just stick to Mewtwo, because one of the big problems I have is that I've only really trained up Charizard. And it'd be a little nice to have a different Pokemon, because Charizard is fire flying, right? Is that right? Am I starting off the stream with just terrible in-game knowledge right now? No, I'm right. Of course I'm right. Yeah, so Charizard may not actually be that great. Let's see how Mewtwo does before we get too far into the shenanigans. Let's go out, let's catch just 2 ice types. Let's see how that works, see if I need to readjust. Oh, look at all those Venusaur eggs. Okay, ice. I love the ice puzzles in Pokemon. I think I've talked about that before. I feel like maybe that's not that common. Maybe it is. I think I could have sworn I've heard more people complain about ice puzzles. And I'm immediately distracted by something else. I am in a graveyard at night. This is not well thought out. Yep, that's why I'm just chilling in the fire. Oh, speaking of fire types, there's a bunch more right there. I could easily go swipe a Charmander. So when I start a new series, I go back and listen to audio and make sure my audio's good, and then that's basically it. Past that, it's like, like I listen to it, I'm gonna make a couple tweaks. So for a couple months now, well, a couple months, basically since my Zelda 2 playthrough, I haven't gone back and listened to my work. But I remember I was talking about I was talking about something. I was playing my game, and I was just talking, sharing my thoughts on something. I think it was one of the movies that I talked about. And I remember thinking mid sentence, I remember thinking, I have no idea if what I am saying is actually coherent. So I went back and I listened to another playthrough to see if I make sense when I talk, which is kind of a critical deal to what I do. And I was relieved to find out that I didn't sound nearly as dumb as I thought I did when I was talking. So it's one of those things where when you game, you don't really think about, what are you really gonna be saying while playing a game. I don't want Delibird because he doesn't drop Never Melt Ice. But this is good just to see how Mewtwo will do. 42's high. But yeah, it was like you go back and forth between talking about the game, between trying to maintain this train of thought, and it's just one of those things where it's like I don't do this. When I game by myself. Well, not even when I'm game by myself. When I game with other people, I'm not really like talking while playing. It's always like in between moments. Really cute. Let's catch it. Well, I say that. Let's hope I don't kill it right now. I'm probably going to kill it. I'm too powerful. I'm unstoppable. But yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really think about, and then you come out here and you start doing it, and you're like, oh, am I an idiot? Oh, it's so cute. Should I catch it? But yeah, I'm actually really excited. I want to talk about Casino Royale. There was no shot that thing was going to live. Because it's you know, I've been on my James Bond kick, and it's been intermittent. We've watched 1 or 2 of every single Bond, like, actors Bond films, and it was really all in anticipation for Daniel Craig's Bond, because I've seen all of his movies but Quantum of Solace. I really need to readjust my strategy. I'm just out here killing everything. Swift. Love that sound. Okay. No, don't freeze. No. Yes. I don't think I've ever froze a Pokemon when I had an ice type on my team. I just don't think it happens for me. Okay. Great Ball, Pokeball. Let's see if Pokeballs work. We got time. Oh, that was close. But yeah, so I've seen a lot of Daniel Craig James Bond. And so that's, to me, that's what Bond was. I mean, especially because he's been James Bond for what, 16 years now, which is an insanely long run time. I mean, it only is 5 movies, but that is still a long time to be James Bond, and it was really fun to see him as young as he was back in 2006 when his first Bond film came out. All right, I need to use recover, but. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, do I like James Bond, or do I like Daniel Craig's James Bond? And how does Daniel Craig's James Bond compare to other Bonds? Which is essentially why I went back and watched like 10 other Bond films. And what I've realized is that I think the key element, I'll do recover one more time, why not? I think the key element to nailing Bond is not actually the action scenes, right? I think that, you know, movie productions can effectively make anyone look cool based on their choreo, based on the story that they're trying to tell, right? I think what actually makes Bond is how well does Bond deliver Bond jokes. Because since the first movie, a staple of Bond as a character, this is gonna work. Yes. Let's catch one more and let's get out of here. Is he has these quips, and they often like come at the end of a sequence or an exchange, just as like these offhand jokes, and they really do track that way. And I think that is the biggest stumbling block for being an effective Bond, because his jokes are bad. They're not meant to be like funny. They almost always come across as cheesy. A lot of them are like puns. They're plays, like he'll do a play on words based on how like someone died, and he'll say something cheesy about it. And I think that a lot of Bonds that don't sell it, I think too many Bonds tried to be like Sean Connery's Bond, because Sean Connery really leaned into that type of like it's just how his movies aged. it really worked that he could say these like cheesy lines. There's something like, and I think that was like that was what other Bonds tried to capture, but I don't think other Bond actors really figured it out until more recently. I think the last 3 Bonds, which I think is like Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and then Daniel Craig, I think they figured it out. And it isn't like try to say, it's like, don't say it with a smile. Don't say it like it's like you are expecting a laugh from the people around you, because then it just is cheesy. Come on, Mewtwo, don't die. And so instead, what the more recent Bonds have done is they say the jokes dryly. They have an incredibly dry delivery. And I think that is how you fit those like puns into an action story. Because in essence, it's like Bond is in on it. Like Bond knows he's making a bad joke when you say it dryly, instead of like, you know, when you say it expecting laughs, it definitely comes across more as like, it really leans into the cheesy side of things. And so that's something that again, Daniel Craig did really well. He had just a couple quips, but he delivered them very, very straight and very serious. And some of them he delivered in like a self-deprecating way. But I mean, that's a comparative, just looking at Casino Royale on its own. Here, I'll heal again. I'm in the yellow. I think it may be the best Bond film ever. And I think that it has the benefit of not aging in ways that older movies have. Come on, Mewtwo, don't die on me. We got like one more shot, Mewtwo. Wait, I can just give him Moo Moo Milk. There we go. I'm gonna be in this fight all night. The daytime music's gonna come back before I catch this Jinx. Oh my gosh. I feel like I should unfreeze soon. I think Casino Royale is based on the first Bond book and is in itself a Bond origin story. The opening scene is literally a conversation about Bond. I want Mewtwo to unfreeze before I leave this battle. I guess it doesn't matter. I can go back to my bed, but it'd just be really nice. The first scene is literally like a conversation about him getting his 00 status, meaning he has a license to kill. And it sets up who Bond is. Like it bucks a lot of Bond tropes. And I understand that is a criticism against it, right? That when you go see a Bond film, there are elements of the Bond film that you want to see. You want to see Moneypenny, you want to see Q, you want the henchman to have a gimmick. And that's all of those different elements were things that like didn't really exist in Casino Royale. And I think that was because Casino Royale is meant to be the first Bond film where you see him become James Bond. And I think they absolutely killed it with that. Because the opening action sequence, apart from like so there's like this black and white flashback to him getting his 00 status, and then it's like, okay, let's catch up. What's he doing now? What's his mission now? It does such a good job of showing how he is essentially unrefined. He isn't the suave, tux wearing spy. He's more of an assassin, and it conveys this so well because the opening chase scene is like a parkour sequence where the guy he's chasing is just straight up is like the guy's schmoovin', okay? He's doing all of this complex stuff. He's like gliding through this construction site, and Bond can't do any of that. So Bond just like is outthinking his opponent. So Bond is cutting corners to keep up, and there's one scene that I think is especially just like perfect to illustrate Bond as a character at the beginning of the movie, where the guy does like this flying jump through a wall. Like he goes over this drywall construction zone, flying jump, and then Bond just runs through the drywall. And it's just like this, like, yeah, he's here, and he's just he just does everything through brute force. You know, he's a killer. And it's also a perfect setup because he catches this guy, and then he kills him. And then he gets chewed out for killing the guy because he wasn't supposed to kill the guy. They needed him alive. And so that's another thing where it's like it highlights the killer instinct that he has, where he can't bring the guy in alive. He like has to kill him, which is contrasted so well in the final scene, because the very last scene of the movie is like at the first scene of the movie is like, great, like we wanted that guy alive so that we could have leads, so that we could figure out what we were going to do to bring down these baddies. And now we can't because you killed the guy, Bond. And then the end of the movie is M saying like, oh, we don't have any leads anymore. And then Bond has a lead. And so he goes out to the guy, and instead of killing the guy, he shoots him in the leg to begin interrogating the guy. And he walks up in a nicely tailored suit, and he says, you know, the name's Bond, James Bond. And you're like, that's it. Like, his transformation is complete. Beginning of the movie, just a killer, a brute. End of the movie, like he sees the big picture. Is, I guess, a way of describing it. Dang it. I wish I could turn these corners with doors, but it looks like doors have to be placed in a straight line. I promise I'm almost done. I'm almost done talking about Casino Royale, but it really is just that good. After I stop gushing over this movie, I will. Can I just put a door over grass? I can. Put one right here. Oh, that door on the snow tiles looks great. Okay, so last thing. The story introduces a character named Vesper. And Vesper is Bond's love interest in this movie. I guess I should probably heal you before I drop you off, huh? Does it make a difference? Nah, it doesn't. Actually, I'm going to drop it off on this, facing this way, just in case there's any funky business dropping a Pokemon on another one. Cool. Sweet. Okay, let's do it again. And hopefully this egg will hatch soon so that I can catch 3 at a time. I thought it would by the time I finished hunting. I went and explored that whole area. I'll just stick close. Okay, so last thing, Vesper, right? Bond girl. She's really interesting because she is the character that really makes Bond who Bond is. right? Bond's a killer. He's completely comfortable being that. Doesn't really care to be more. And she is really the catalyst for change in Bond. And sometimes it does it in very obvious ways, and sometimes I think the movie is incredibly subtle. And I'll provide one example of each scenario. Let's see if Piloswine can survive this. Oh, Mewtwo. I should have jumped in bed while I was back. This is great. Mewtwo. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Mewtwo Frozen Solid can run away. Anyways, one obvious example is that Vesper picks out a suit for Bond to wear at the poker table. Where am I going? There we go. Okay. And she picks out a suit that is like a size up. And when they first meet, she remarks and says like, you know, your suit doesn't fit. It's too small, is I think what she says. And so that's like an obvious way where, you know, he doesn't really like know what size suit to wear, I guess. I think he says that it's like that is a personal choice. But anyways, she ends up getting him a suit that fits. And so that's already part of like the Bond persona. But I think, and this is probably like my favorite, I think, storytelling moment in the entire movie, which is they start getting chased in the hotel in between poker rounds by these criminals, and Vesper's essentially an accountant. Okay, Larvitar, you're really cool. You're not ice type though. Oh, what am I? That was a mistake, wasn't it? That's not going to be. I guess it worked out. But yeah, so they're getting chased, and Vesper's an accountant. She's not really. Yeah, let's go. Let's catch this guy. She's not a trained fighter at all. And so Bond is beating these guys up, kills one guy, but is struggling to choke out the second guy while he's trying to grab a gun. And so, this may kill him. We'll just try Pokemon. So Vesper tackles the guy's arm and makes sure that he can't grab the gun so that Bond can finish choking this guy to death. And it's really shocking for Vesper because that's just not what she does. That's not her job. And so like Bond goes back, they go back to their room, and Bond licks his wounds, like cleans up and everything, and then he goes to find Vesper, and she's just like sitting in shock just in the shower. And it's this really key moment for both of them, because Vesper has a sort of disdain for Bond, because like they have this exchange when they first meet where they're like trying to read each other's personalities. And Vesper is like, you're an orphan, you've been radicalized by your government to be a killer. You're just a convenient tool for the British people. And then Vesper gets to see like Bond do his job, and realize the like necessity of spies and assassins and killers. On the flip side, Bond doesn't really have high regard for life. He's already been criticized for being too eager to kill earlier in the movie. He also, a woman is murdered because Bond seduces her to get information, and the people find out that she was the mole, and so they kill her, and they show her dead body in a hammock on the beach, and Bond, like reactionless, doesn't even care. but like M's assistant is there, and M's assistant like almost throws up and has to leave. And so it's just like this, you're supposed to see this disconnect. I think M even says that he lacks the capacity for human attachment. I went too far. And so now Bond is also in this position where he is seeing what he has been desensitized against from someone else's perspective. And it's like, it's this moment where for the first time, he like extends sympathy to someone. He gets in the shower with her and she says like, I can't get the blood off my hands. And he comforts her. And I will critique that in a second. But it's such an organic moment for both characters to kind of learn from each other. And it just sells so well because these characters, that is just both of them reacting to the same thing in different ways and learning from each other, right? And that's like the changing point for James Bond, where he starts to like soften, and he starts to care more about not just being a killer. It is awesome. It is by far, like, story-wise, one of the best challenges that they've given Bond to make him grow as a person. So anyways, I've talked about this for so long, but it honestly, like, Casino Royale is just a good movie. And now I will offer 2 critiques. Critique 1. Oh, hey, should I catch this guy? Nah. If I was gonna catch him, I'd catch a Larvitar. Then I'd have all 3 in my Pokédex. Are there Pokédexes in this game? Is there anything tracking how many Pokemon I've seen and caught? I should know that. There should be an old man that you can meet that, like, tells you that information and rewards you for it. Or maybe you craft a Pokédex, IDK. Okay, 2 critiques. One of them is literally the scene I was just talking about. Structurally, it's a really good scene, but there's this part that's just incredibly awkward, which is when she says she can't get the blood off his hands. James Bond just like takes her hand and sucks on some fingers. It's just like, which is just like, it's like, why, what? Why would you do that? Like, what, are you kidding me? And then he's like, is that better? And she like nods her head, and you're like, okay, that was weird. Like removing that would have helped immensely from the weight of the gravity of that actual scene. It's severely undercut by Bond doing something weird. And then I guess this, oh, it's so cute. And then I guess this just gets into like the other critique of the movie, which is like romance is really hard to sell. I say that as if romance is an entire genre of movies that exists, but I mean, like, it's really easy to get people to roll their eyes or groan or be taken out of the movie experience if it isn't done effectively. And there's a lot of things that Casino Royale does well in conveying this relationship that develops, but one thing they don't do well is Bond, like, towards the end of the movie, just blatantly says like a sexual innuendo, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like but again, that's just like 2 minor moments, because like one of my other Bond films that's really high up on my list is The Living Daylights. Really like that movie, but The Living Daylights has an entire scene where they outrun skiers by sitting in a cello case, and like that's ridiculous. And it's one of those things where when it happens, I'm laughing and I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this. But like, and it still is, it creates a moment of enjoyment, but it's also just so ridiculous that, you know, you look back at the movie and you have to recognize that was dumb. And then it also does another thing where a woman needs to distract a guy, so she just like smothers him in her breasts, and that is apparently like an effective way to distract someone, and that's like so on brand for the Bond's weird intersection between espionage and like masculinity and femininity. But it's just one of those things where you're like, I can't believe this is a real part of the movie. And I didn't even say this about The Living Daylights. He's going through the spy lab, he's learning like all of the tools, and then they just casually show a guy hold a boombox on his shoulder and shoot it like a rocket launcher and blow up a mannequin. And then Q just says, like, we call it the ghetto blaster. And I'm like, I can't believe that like this is part of your story. like that is that is so bad. so like, but at the end of the day, the critiques I have for Casino Royale are not nearly as bad. Mewtwo, don't let your defense fall next time, please. I'm trying to catch this guy. As other major story moments or major action scenes that just are laughable. And James Bond movies are still enjoyable for those moments, but it does mean the story has aged and it's not as good as it could be. So anyways, I think I've got it out of my system. Oh, this is a great song. I think I've said everything that I want to share about. Come on, I want some ice types, okay? I caught the last guy because it was convenient. But yeah, that's it. That's just for James Bond. That went on for too long. I was planning on also talking about Turning Red, but I mean, I'd be here all night. There, one more ice type. Let's go. Oh, I'm gonna kill it. I watched that health bar go down and I just fingers crossed, you know, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that it would live just so that I could catch it and keep it. I don't want to cut it. I'll just go around. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay. Let's get one more ice type. Let's drop Gibble off now too. Oh, it's so amazing. I love it. And then let's go pick up more Gibble eggs, because there should be a couple more. No. I played the Kirby demo. Thought it was a lot of fun. I think the big selling point was that the co-op is actually co-op. I mean, like, Nintendo has this bad habit of saying games are 2-player when they are actually 1.5 player. I'm of course referring to more recently Super Mario Odyssey, which was 2-player in that one person could control a hat. It's not like really 2-player. That is one person playing another person either trying to help or just being a nuisance. Another example. Ooh, I'm feeling this music though. His Super Mario Galaxy did the same thing where it's like, it's 2-player. Well, what does player 2 do? They wave a Wiimote around to collect star bits while the other person plays an actual game. And so that was my big fear. I was like, okay, is this Kirby game going to be a game where like one person plays as Kirby? Critical hit, what will I do? where one person plays the game and the other person just sort of like observes from a distance. And it's not. It's full 2-player, where the second player plays as Bandana Waddle Dee and has... Oh, I didn't need to do that. Really cool moves that are unique to Bandana Waddle Dee. Which, that's awesome. Like, that's super cool. Makes you feel like you're not a worthless player, too. The other thing that surprised me is it had difficulty options. It had an easy mode, and I won't say it's a hard mode. It had an easy mode and a not so easy mode. It's still Kirby games. But that was a really nice element. Oh, let's go Steelix. Let's go Gibble. Yeah, Gibble. Yeah, let's go. Woo! He's still going. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, but that's a nice thing because from what I understand, I'm by no means an expert. Oh my gosh, there's 2 more eggs up here. Kirby games have been basically, they play themselves. Wait a second. Grab it before you get blocked in. We're going to fill that row up with nothing but Gibbles and Garchomps. Okay, if those Jinxes make that noise too much, I will put them in a box. There we go. And now look at that. I can just run in here. Oh my gosh. Jinxes. Please. Larion's cool. Larion. What is Larion supposed to be? Yeah, you get the house. Let's dig. Leafstone, nice. Alright. Do you got anything for me? Dragon Scale, nice. What do you got for me? Dragon Fang, nice. What do you got for me? Dragon Fang, nice. I can't get to the last Gibble. I just dropped it off. It probably doesn't have anything. Yeah, I need that ice. Okay, I mean, you tried. Yeah. No. I was so excited to get an item from it. I don't think these guys that I just dropped off are going to have anything. Okay. I think this has been actually really productive. So, I don't know if I want to build this out right now, actually. This has been super duper productive. Go team. We've got our dragons and our ice. Which we need dragon scale, yes. And never melt ice. And then spell tag. So I'm pretty sure that's from ghost types. So we'll get those ghost types. We'll get that one spell tag in the future. I don't anticipate it being that hard. I am going to... If these Jinxes don't give me a lot of ice, and they give me a lot of PSI energy instead, I really will put them in a box. I will just breed the what is it? The Daramuka, whatever it is. Darumaka? Yeah, I want more of those guys. I want less of these guys. Oh my goodness. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Majora's Mask is coming up next. Catch you all in the next stream.